How's it going? Finally back to making videos. I got my paint, or my motorcycle repainted. It's got some pollen on it right now, but I finally found some time to make a video, and I'm going out with a friend right now. I'm going to his house to ride. I just graduated yesterday, so I have plenty of time to start making videos again. It's been such a long time since I made one. I got an audience. So yeah, I just graduated. I've been going to school for a long time, ever since I got out of the military. And I changed my major a few times. Once when I was in community college, and then again once when I was at my 4-year college. So that added a little bit of extra time. But all I have to do now is find a career. I already have a job, but my job is not the kind of job you get after you graduate from college. Anyway, so yeah, back to making videos. I only ever made a few, but I was always so friggin' busy with studying that I never really had the time to devote to making a lot of them, like some of the other vloggers out there. So now that I don't have to worry about homework and all I have to do is a regular job, I think I'll have time to do some of that stuff. Nice day out, I just had to get out of the house. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make one video a week. which for me is it's almost unfathomable because it seems like a lot of work. I'm not an expert in video editing. I do have a pretty decent video editing program, but this is just a hobby for me. I'm just doing it because I think it's fun and interesting, and I just want to do it. So I don't think that my skills at editing are on the same level as some of the other people on YouTube that do this, but I'm just doing it just for me, just for fun, just as a hobby, not as a serious effort into being a video editing expert. It's just like with me riding my motorcycle. I'm not riding my motorcycle to be a racer. I mean, that would be really fun and all, but I just love riding my motorcycle. I ride it every single day that I possibly can. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go hang out with my buddy. He has a, I think it's a Triumph Street Triple 675 or something. I don't know, something like that. And it's actually interesting because I was riding one day through Fredericksburg, which is near where I live. And I saw this guy on a crotch rocket, and I was just like, oh, okay, how you doing, hi. And he was at the stoplight. He went first, and then I followed behind him, and he had seen me, so he pulled over and waited for me to drive by, and then he drove up beside me and asked me where I was going. I told him I was going to my dad's house, and he sounded disappointed, so I was like, well, what do you want to do? You want to go cruise around? And he's like, yeah, just follow me. So I just followed him, and it was really spontaneous of, just us just kind of linking up out of nowhere and just cruising for like an hour and a half. And it was just kind of cool. I never had that happen before. Anyway, I'm probably going to turn this off and just to see you guys whenever I get there. Alright guys, well, I met up with my buddy. I didn't make it to his house, I couldn't find him, but he came down the road and met me at the stop sign. So we're going to ride down Caledon Road, which is 218, and he's going to lead the way. This is his backyard basically, so I'm just going to cruise behind him. And while I'm cruising, I was thinking on the way over here, there's something I want to talk about in this video that I haven't talked about yet in the other videos that I've posted up, the 2 or 3 that I have, and that is what kind of bike, and I realize that every single vlogger makes a video about this, but I decided I really want to. So what kind of bike should you start out with if you're brand new? And I have a differing opinion than most people. When I started out riding, I had never rode a street bike, ever. And I really wanted to ride a sport bike. That's the kind of bike I wanted to ride. I really wanted to have a sport bike. So I decided that I was going to buy a sport bike, and that sport bike was going to be a 1993 CBR 900RR. Now, went to the motorcycle safety course, I told this one guy what kind of bike I had already bought, because I had already bought it. And it was kind of an older guy. He's probably in his early 30s. And he was like, "Oh man, you're going to kill yourself. You've never rode a bike before and you bought a CBR 900? I rode a 600 and I almost killed myself." I guess he wrecked it. And he was, you know, he said that he thought that I was crazy for buying a CBR 900 as my first bike. But I rode it 20,000 miles. I rode it for a year and a half, 20,000 miles. I never ever wrecked it. You know, I mean, yeah, I went fast a few times, but it was my learning bike. It had been pretty much manhandled by whoever had it before me. You know, obviously it was like almost a 20-year bike. It's almost a 20-year bike, so, I mean, obviously the guys who had it before me, you know, they didn't really take care of it as much as they should have. So whenever I got it, I tried to get it back into decent shape. I had to put a new clutch in it. I had to put a new wire harness in it. It was just really tore up. But it was my first bike. Never wrecked it. Didn't kill myself. But it was at the time when I bought it, it was in my price range, you know, because I was buying just a cheap used bike. I didn't want like a Ducati or you know, a new CBR 1000 or anything really nice because I haven't rode before. You know, and I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know if I was going to go out there and wreck first ride. So anyway, I got a CBR 900. I was fine. A lot of people think, well, I guess there's people out there that think that you should start out on a 250 or you know, a 600 at the most or something like that. You know, hey, it's up to you, really. Honestly, I don't. You know, I like to ride for myself. You know, I like to listen to people's advice and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you're gonna ride like you want to ride. So anyway, that's my little rant about what kind of bike you should get and how you should ride. You should ride like you want to ride. If you want to ride yourself to death and go out there and get yourself killed or hurt, then that should be your right to, right? But, you know, if you want to go out there and be extra careful, start out on a slower bike, a less powerful bike, then that's cool too. You know, it's up to you. It's your life. But, you know, you should always be careful, of course, as much as you can. Some people can ride better than others. And some people can accept the hazards a little better than others. And I guess it might set them apart. In their own head, at least. I think me and my buddy just like to have fun. trying. It's got some speed. I really like it, actually. It's a nice bike. I think he said he bought it brand new too, so it's got a nice exhaust on it. Sounds good. I like the colors too. So anyway, right now I have a CBR 1000RR, a 2006. I bought that last year, around June, and it was only my second motorcycle after my CBR 900. Haven't wrecked this one. It got a new paint job, like I said earlier, but the reason it got a new paint job is because one of my buddy's wives backed into it when it was parked and in her driveway. You know, so that was really irritating. Obviously, I liked the paint job that it had when I bought it. I have pictures. I liked the paint job it had when I bought it. It was already a custom paint job when I bought it. The good thing is that whenever she hit it, her insurance paid for it. So her insurance paid for the repairs. The repairs weren't too bad. It was just busted up on the side. It was busted up really bad on the left side. The left side fairings were all broken. And but I got a new paint job out of it, and I got to choose the paint job myself. I wanted something a little brighter red. And I put some flakes in there. So I like the color of my bike, and I think at some point in time I'll do my own little walk around video, because I know people love to see those. I know that whenever I first started riding, whenever I first started thinking about riding, I would look for videos of other people riding motorcycles, and that's how I kind of discovered vlogging, or motorcycle vlogging, was just by going on YouTube and searching for other people's videos on them riding their motorcycles. And whenever I was looking at motorcycles to buy, what I would like to ride, that's when I was looking at walk-arounds and people looking, kind of showing off their motorcycle. And I heard a lot of good things about Hondas, of course. There's one video on YouTube. The guy has I think it's a CBR 600 F4i, and he's gone 200,000 miles on it, which is just amazing. Now, of course, when I first bought my motorcycle, like I said, I went to the motorcycle safety course that's around here. That's how I got my license. I passed it with flying colors. I didn't have any issues whatsoever. And I went to DMV and gave them the diploma or whatever from the course. And as long as you do that, then you get your motorcycle license without having to take any tests there. Now, I will say that before I went to the motorcycle safety course, I went and did whatever it is, the learner's permit, the motorcycle learner's permit. I went ahead and did that just so that I could just so that I could take the test at the DMV and study a little bit of the material, because I was, really serious about learning all that I could, about riding. I used to live on this road, and there used to not be a stoplight right here. I think it was fine when it didn't have a stoplight, but